Leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Salute. Big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know WCS is the first in the building. Check it. Now that y'all are happy that Raphael was pretty much putting out what I've already tried to hint to you all, that, you know, the results wasn't going to take 7 to 10 days like people were reporting. They was already back. You know what I'm saying? The results was already out there. You know what I'm saying? It's just they wanted to select a time. I don't know who's behind all this. Okay, just drop the news. But y'all ain't the only one that find out this information. You know, they want to look. I'm gonna tell you something about Raphael. Like they want to drop it to certain people, and you see these people in person. And they always dropping this information, but they have no social skills. They are so freaking arrogant as hell. You know what I'm saying? But people run all the time and screenshot. Hey, Raphael, Dan Raphael. Man, come on, man. The information's been out there. But the crazy part about it, if somebody like myself put the information out there, oh, how do you know? How do you know? It's just... You don't ask Dan Raphael how he know, Mike Carpenter how he know, Keith Eidick how they know. You never ask these cats how they know the information. You just screenshot and hurry up and take to social media and put it up on the freaking thumbnail. Listen, news has broke that finally, you know, Ryan Garcia tested for Ostarine. What the public needs to understand is that a lot of you cats don't even know what the fuck Ostarine is. Neither does the damn doping organization like that. You know what I'm saying? They can sit up here and say it's a banned substance and all that, right? It's not the first time a boxer has tested, you know, positive for Ostarine or athlete, period. But it's not too often that it happened. Now we have to look at what's next for Ryan Garcia, but not before we go through this article on boxingscene.com, who has put it out there. Ryan Garcia's B samples returned 2 positives. Okay, this is in highlight of the April 20th fight last April. You know what I'm saying? Last April, which you seen, I seen, everybody witnessed. Ryan Garcia defeat Devin Haney. Both tests positive for Ostarine on Thursday. It was confirmed that the B samples, which were open on Wednesday, were both also positive. All right. What happens next will be down to the New York State Athletic Commission and the WBC, who oversaw Haney Garcia. Pay attention to that right there. Because people are jumping up and down doing, you know, jumping jacks and freaking, you know, 7-count bodybuilders. Pay attention to what the Athletic Commission will do in response to this. That's all I'm saying. Just pay attention, y'all. I don't get wrapped up in all this shit. People want to, see somebody demise and act like this ain't happened in boxing before. Like I said before, you got some cats out here that act like they're real casual. We've had worse happen in boxing. Just pay attention and be patient and see if you're satisfied with what you're going to hear from the New York State Athletic Commission. You know what I'm saying? Just be patient. And then, see if you got something else to complain about after it's all said and done. The fight was at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Garcia won, having come in more than 3 pounds overweight at the weigh-in, and then having dropped Haney in rounds 10, 11 on his way to earning a majority victory. Correction there, Boxing Scene. This is BoxingScene.com. He dropped him in the 7th too, didn't he? Boxing Scene? I could have sworn he dropped him in the 7th. Anyway. On Thursday, Garcia took to social media and continued to make accusations that he has been set up. I don't care if I never make money again with boxing, read one post on X. Your loss, not mine, for setting me up. LOL, joke on y'all. The burden of proof is now 1,000% on Ryan Garcia to prove where he got the exposure to Ostarine, said Victor Conte, the former Balco mastermind and doping expert who provides legal supplements and conditioning assistance to Haney. Okay? And you have to look at Victor Conte. That's why he's been extremely vocal on this. Being that Devin Haney is a snack client. He is a snack athlete under the promotional umbrella of Victor Conte, SNAC, you know what I'm saying, his brand, a man that was formerly taken down, had to do time for, doping the athletes, being a distributor, a disseminator. The strict liability rule requires him to prove that there was no intent to cheat. And if he is unable to do so, then I believe that he will be both fined and suspended by the new SAC, New York State Athletic Commission. The scientific process has been upheld, and now we will see if Ryan can prove any of the wild and crazy rumors that he has been spewing at every opportunity. Don't just let this fly by you now. Like I said, people cheering up and down like it's a victory, like it's going to do something else for Devin Haney. It's not going to do much except however they choose to reverse the decision. If it's going to be a no contest, we'll see if they reference the Lucian Bute situation and Badu Jack. We'll see how that works. You know what I'm saying? Either way it goes, far as the record goes, it'll look good for Devin to get his win back. If not, he'll have that loss. Definitely the loss will be erased. And then, put a no contest or whatever they choose to do. Ask about the B sample results. Haney's attorney, Pat English, told Boxing Scene, no surprise there. Okay. So, once again, Pat English, attorney for Devin Haney, they said they was going to submit paperwork once this was brought to light and made presentable to the public. They was going to request that, this fight, he be given a win. And if they're going to give Haney a win, they have to give Ryan Garcia a loss. In reality, Ryan Garcia had won and Devin Haney had lost. Something separate from one another. But we have to wait and see with the powers that be, how are they going to look at this? How are they going to render the results? You know what I'm saying? How did they define this conclusion? Will they consummate the entire loss and reinstate Devin Haney's win? Or will they just have it as a no contest, which he will end up having still an unblemished record? And Ryan Garcia will have only one loss, but then he will have to have this to deal with going further and, paying the money for another investigation or to prove that, how did he get the exposure? Was it intentional? unintentional. It says, so far, a hearing date to determine Garcia's fate, suspension time, fine amount, or whether the outcome is altered to a no contest or a disqualification that will give Haney a victory and Garcia a loss on the record, is yet to be set. English is advocating for a minimum 1 year suspension and a disqualification. This is my take on his attorney advocating for a year suspension. Come on, get out of here. You advocating for a year suspension when most of these fighters fight once a year. Come on now. You're advocating for a 1 year suspension when fighters are fighting once a year damn near? That's nothing. A 1 year suspension on a fighter that has made millions upon millions, that's not going to do anything. That's not going to do anything. That's not going to, cause somebody to crumble like Garcia, who's making extra money. Look, the one thing about boxing in a non-regulated sport, you're not going to have repercussions. Like, let's just say in the military, you get in trouble out in town. Let's just say you got caught stealing. Not only are you going to get in trouble out in town, you're going to get in trouble on base when you return back to your command. That's not the case here with Ryan. Just because this has happened to him in boxing, it's not going to affect every other collateral freaking sponsorship or anybody that's supporting him. It's not going to affect anything. We're not going to look at it like Kanye West when Adidas dropped him. They can give a fuck about this dude going in here testing positive. That has nothing to do with what they have going on in sponsoring Ryan Garcia. It's not even publicly considered to be, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not looking at this as something that's detrimental to the public eye. You're going to cause organizations to get together and say, oh man, we must protest this. Ryan Garcia's B samples came back. No, they don't care. They don't care. They don't care about all this shit. He wasn't going for no gold medal. It was a fight that he came back positive for. Now it has to be proven, was it intentional or unintentional? But it's not. You're not gonna, be satisfied when all this plays out. This should give you a little understanding. A 1 year suspension. Guess what? That 1 year suspension is gonna be retro back to April 21st, April 22nd. We're headed into June next month. Come on, bro. Come on, man. He made a mockery of the rules and the commission, he said. Boxing is a dangerous sport in this case. There was no equal playing field because Mr. Garcia cheated by taking Ostarine and prohibited IVs, English said. Anybody who doesn't understand what he's done by now is oblivious. I can't even say this. Pulls the curtains back on him. It's already been pulled back. He's pulled it back himself. So, people are going to take their shots however they choose to it with Ryan Garcia. But this is the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying about this. It's too many other serious situations that went on in boxing, and you didn't see a punishment that you deemed necessary to fit the crime. We haven't seen it. We've seen people get away with shit. We've seen stuff just overlooked. But now people up here just finding something to talk about as if, like I told you in my last live, people are saying he still got beat up. I tried to find the underlining factor, y'all. I did. I tried to find out the underlining factor. And I should be having a legend come on for an interview. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to see when he got some free time. But, we definitely going to chop it up. I spoke to him already behind the scene. We definitely going to chop it up on some topics and everything once he gets time. Those of you that follow the channel already know who I'm talking about. But in this particular case with Ryan Garcia, y'all have to understand that I can see if Devin Haney was the prize fighter that was a popular prize fighter that everybody liked. I can see if he held his Wall Street as a fighter was up there. I can see if he was just adored. He was exalted from his boxing fans. But when I'm talking to them, these fans, they don't give me that impression that they even care, because they simply keep saying he got beat. Yes, let's just say he deserves it. Devin Haney deserves to get his shit, cleaned up. Remove the loss. Okay, cool. What's next? The physical damage is what the fans are paying attention to. What happened to you? You was knocked down multiple times in the fight. You look bad in the fight. You didn't have a way. You didn't have no way of rebounding. You couldn't make an adjustment to basically redirect the pendulum. You was standing in the middle of the pendulum. It was just tearing you up. Boom, 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 both sides. You was getting beat up. How do you change over the mindset of these fans who's saying, okay, Ryan Garcia tests positive. What does that got to do with the performance? What does it got to do with the performance? Like I told you the other night, they say, what does this have to do with the performance? And why would he have to be juiced up to go in there and beat this guy? The world is a cold, cold place, man, especially the boxing universe. It's cold as hell, bro. But this is one of those situations people just want something to talk about. The Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford shit died down. You had motherfuckers on here busy talking about how, people was wagering and Crawford was cheating, right? That was something to talk about last year. Then they've been waiting for some more controversy to come up. They just been waiting for some more controversy. Now you get Ryan Garcia, pretending, put on a facade and everything like he was crazy. Quite the opposite of how he went into the fight with Gervonta Davis. But at the end of the day, y'all, the people are saying that the performance does not have anything to do with the crime. Let that sink deep. I wanted to know. I wanted to get to the bottom of it. I already knew this results the other day. You know what I'm saying? I already knew the results. It's funny how I schedule my live and then some other content creators tell me, it's going to be several days. I guess my source is better than yours, homie. But you have to look at it this way. How's it going to influence moving forward? This doesn't ban Ryan Garcia for ever lacing up a pair of gloves again. It doesn't. The damage will always be in the corner of Devin Haney. The damage was that he could not find an adjustment to disrupt the rhythm of Ryan Garcia and take back control of that fight. He couldn't do it. And once again, this is no knock on Team Haney. I'm telling you from what I witnessed. I can see if you would have made an adjustment. You didn't have any type of wherewithal to make an adjustment to beat this guy who supposedly didn't have the overall skill set that people would be considered braggadocious when it came to saying who was the better fighter, Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia. Who's the better all-around technician? They would say Devin Haney. He's the better all-around technician. It's easy. But when he went in there and fought, he didn't really have to use technique 360. He didn't have to use that. He just had to use what was effective in his arsenal. And he did that, and he got then closed down and unloaded the clip. And he was able to do it in domineering fashion. The world of boxing is selfish. It will always be selfish, y'all. That's why I tell you, when I ask them, him as a fighter now, man, don't nobody give a damn about that. He beat Devin ass. And I say, is that all? Like, you don't think it had to do something with an increase of speed, increase of power? He said, man, no. For what? I'm talking about, this is how boxing fans think, y'all. Y'all need to get this within your heads. This is how boxing fan thinks. Some of them think like that. They can be ruthless, cold-hearted, you know what I'm saying, cutthroat. That's just boxing fans. Back in the day, if somebody would have did some shit like this, man, it was, oh man, this is just unethical. You got motherfuckers out here talking about, oh man, he'll never make it to the Hall of Fame. He'll never do this. He'll never do that. I'm saying, look at Mike Tyson, though, of all people. Look at Mike. Look at these cats that's been out here and they've been a part of some of the most controversial moments in the boxing annals. But yet, y'all up here talking about Ryan Garcia, who's basically in Brazil, you know, reminding me what I did when I went to foreign countries. He over there kicking it with the Brazilian women. He over there in Morocco. He's chilling, bro. He's over there getting wet. As we used to, he's over there getting wet. He's over there enjoying his time because his paycheck wasn't affected. While in the rear, they busy talking about this B samples. I mean, bro, this shit, don't nobody, to be honest with you, don't nobody really care because he came in overweight. He didn't win the title. I can see if Devin lost the title. But Devin lost the fight. I can see if Devin went 12 rounds with no knockdowns. Then I'd be on here advocating for him and be like, hey, I believe they should run it back effectively immediately. But once again, when I have these conversations for input, people telling me, no, the same thing happened. I say, but think about it like this. You know, he tested positive, bro. Man, the same shit have happened. He can come in there and they can fight at a catch weight again. Devin can come in at 143. Ryan Garcia. I say, are you sure? You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he fought Lomachenko. He fought Kambosos. You know what I'm saying? Are you sure, man? Come on, bro. They want to use that EX word. Man, Ryan Garcia exposed Devin Haney. He exposed him. And then they bring up, hey, he said he'll never lose to a white boy. He lost to a white boy. You know what I'm saying? And that's another reason why I believe they're so insensitive. They're so insensitive to advocating for Haney because they bring that shit up about him and the white boy come in. He say 10 out of 10, I'll beat a white boy. 10 out of 10 times I'll win. But yet he goes in here and he not only loses, but he loses in a fight where his opponent tests positive, but yet he suffered 3 knockdowns. It has not been proven that just because you take some type of supplement, you're going in there knocking cats out and you're winning. Not everybody who has tested dirty has won their bout. That's a fact. You feel me? That's an absolute fact. Let me get to the chat. The hottest chat in the MF game. Shout out to Mr. International. Across the pond. Toby Bartlett's in the building. Salute WCS and the hottest chat in the YTC Global, baby. We're global. Yes, sir. Indeed. Better to be global than just local, shouty. You already know. He said minimum 1 year. They usually give 6 months. Look. Hey, shout to Michael. But look, Michael. Just think about it. It's 12 months, right? Think about what I said. Fighters are fighting damn near once a year anyway, right? As time ticks by, they're going to retro this back to 2 days after the fight or whatever, that Monday after the fight, which would be the 22nd. I'm supposing that's how they did Canelo and all that other shit, right? So just think about what you just said. I said that Pat English want to push for a year suspension. Ryan Garcia is young as hell. That's not going to do shit. You're saying they usually give 6 months. How does that affect anything? That's a fucking vacation. Look, what if they was penalizing? I don't know. What if you got penalized for each round? It's a 12-round fight. So if you pop dirty, you get a penalty for each round of the fight. What if it was something more specific to the you know, look, your paycheck wasn't affected. You got your money on deck. You got your money on deck, man. This suspension is trash. To basically advocate for a year, that's crazy. Look, they put more effort on the YTC than that year suspension would even have on the fans. They're gonna put more effort in. Oh man, Ryan Garcia, he tested. Nobody's gonna give a damn in his next fight. They're not. They're not. Hey, what's 2 years are gonna do for this, man? See, I can understand if Ryan didn't have the motion he was having outside the ring, but Ryan has motion. He has a lot more going on. So when you all wish him something in boxing, just think about what you're wishing somebody who has made millions with Tank Davis and damn Devin Haney. Look, how can you get the lion's share, Michael, with no motherfucking belts against someone who was undisputed at 135 and the WBC champion 140? How can Ryan Garcia comes in there and get the lion's share of the percentage? How does it work, brother? Why are y'all up here? Not you per se, but why are y'all up here feeling some type of way that these samples came back? This man got the lion's share with no motherfucking belts. Are y'all not understanding that? How does that work? It's like when cricket cops get suspended with paid leave. Man, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, somebody out there get it, bro. Officer so-and-so has been suspended, pending investigation with pay. What? What with pay? So he's going to be, they get suspended. Oh, I'm going out here to Disney World. They say I'm going to be out for like a month. So I'm going to take the kids down to Disney World. Appreciate you. What's going on with you, Ben? Salute. How's it crazy, man? How's it crazy? All the false accusation that was going on with Spencer Crawford was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. I mean, that's what I see, King Ostarine. I mean, put a little humor up there. You know what I'm saying? Put a little humor up there. Hey. That's what they want. People take this YTC shit extremely serious. You're not getting paid for all the energy that you have. All this little ant type reaction when y'all running around, bumping into each other and goddamn, thinking this is chaos. This ain't chaos, bro. I mean, I'm talking about if someone gets shot, what's more worse? Let me tell you this. What's more worse? I'm going to give you a perfect example, those of you in the chat. What's worse? Going on a freaking fleeing the police and crashing your freaking close to $100,000 vehicle, having 2 incidents in freaking 6 months, or testing positive for Ostarine? What's worse, Shawty? What's worse? What is worse, man? Somebody please tell me what's worse. Excuse me. What's worse? Being in a Lambo, running into another car and fleeing the scene from the police, and then being boxed in at the light and getting your mug shot? What's worse? Being intoxicated, too, to add on to the charges? What's worse? Punching your girl in the eye? Domestic violence? What's worse, man? Ostarine or that? What are they going to frown upon more? A boxer who is putting hands on another human being outside of the ring, or someone who has tested positive and he has to prove that it was unintentional? Really, having people look at it like, well, it wouldn't have made a big difference anyway, because he still, beat the brakes off Devin. He swelled his face up on both sides. This is not me. This is just me reiterating, reciprocating. You know what I'm saying? This is it. That's all I'm doing. People get mad because of my mouthpiece, but look, I'm just being media. You said media, right? If I go up here and sugarcoat it, you say, oh, he a cheerleader. He kissing ass. He's showing biasness. And then I go up here and talk my shit. Then you get mad because I'm not up here speaking Ebonics. I don't like when he's used all those big words. He don't have to use those big words. All you have to do is just think it, just bring it down a notch. Just bring it down a notch and just chill, man. Just talk like we on the block. You know what I'm saying? Talk like Mike Tyson used to talk. That's all I'm asking you to do. Just chill. Eddie said Ron said he loves steroids. How is he saying he innocent? So you're gonna take somebody saying he loves steroids, but yet you somehow attach that to him popping positive. He also said he was drinking every day, but yet people actually believe that that man chugged the beer, and it was whatever he said, apple juice. It wasn't even beer. He said it was apple juice. So does he get indicted? Does he get indicted for everything that he says? Why isn't he locked up as we speak for being bound and gagged and supposedly forced to watch indecent acts with minors? Why isn't he freaking incarcerated at this time? Didn't he say he had it on his phone, Eddie? He said he had it on his phone, Eddie. Eddie, if you're listening, Eddie, if you're listening, Eddie, he said he had it on his phone. Smooth criminal. Why isn't he incarcerated? Is that worse than testing positive for Ostarine? Is him seeing indecent acts to minors worse than this Ostarine finding? Come on, bro. There's a lot more shit going on. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot more shit going on. In the UK, I think it's usually 4 years. But if you can prove it was unintentional, you can get it down to 2. And they usually backdate it. Well, there's been some people that test positive in the UK. They weren't suspended for 4 years. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong, Toby. I'm just saying, you know, let's just say, for instance, Conor Ben. Conor Ben, when you look at the boundaries, right? How far does the permissions extend? Do they have jurisdiction in the U.S.? No. So if Conor Ben, being that he went on a 5,462 boiled egg freaking daily diet, right? And somehow in his body, he tested positive for clomiphene. We have to look at it like this. He may not be able to fight in the UK, but he can definitely fight over here in the States, right? So that tells you right there, Toby, in boxing, it's no one overseer. It's no single overseer across the board. It's no full sanctioning that encapsulate the entire sport. The system doesn't run like that. You have so many players in the system to the point where he can test positive over there in the UK, but he can still box over here in the US. He could potentially have a fight in the US and make money. He was the one that was on the chat with Ryan Garcia. Him and Ryan Garcia was talking. He said, hey, man, I would like to fight you. You know, come on. And, you know, it's possible that fight can happen over here in the U.S. Do you think if you get Ryan Garcia, who is now came positive with his B sample, and freaking Conor Ben in a fight over here, who tested positive over there and is being placed in timeout, right over there across the pond, do you think people are not going to come see that fight if Ryan Garcia fight Conor Ben? Absolutely they are. It's too many, you know, testing positive is not the way it used to be. It's just like when the UFC initially came and was televised to the general public. It was some people out here saying, oh man, this is too violent. Harry, go take the kids for a walk. You know, Jimmy over there, he loves watching this freaking mixed martial arts crap. Take him outside or something. I mean, even though things were a lot different with the TVs, there wasn't in 4K when the UFC initially started. But you get what I'm saying. Now, you go to World Star and you're seeing some of the most gruesome graphic shit you can see. You think people really care about a B sample, yo? They don't fucking care, man. You got a pretty boy who's making a lot of people money Once again, you have a pretty boy that's making a lot of people money. It's not going to be what you think. I'm telling you, it's not going to be all the hype and people being upset like you think, man. This is going to come and blow over, bro. Then Jared Anderson, check this out. Another example. Then Jared Anderson still step in the ring after his outside the ring incident. So how do we have balance when it comes to boxing? When it comes to the reprimands and consequences? How does the jurisdiction in civilian pop, is there any jurisdiction in boxing? Unless you commit a murder or something, it's still no jurisdiction in boxing, because check this out. You can commit a murder and you can go and do 4 years for that, right? If you was found some type of culpability, you found liable for that, and you was proven guilty and sentenced. When you complete that final day and get your ass up out of there, and you're free to go back to the sport, you can submit for your boxing license, and they're not going to say, well, hey, do me a favor. We got to have you go through 3 weeks of counseling just to see where your mind's at. We know you just came out of prison and everything from that crime you committed. We just want you to go to the therapist. And once you complete that 3 weeks of therapy, we'll be able to grant you your boxing license. Man, I'm happy to have you back. We'll be talking in 3 weeks. Okay, buddy? That's boxing. It's really no organization or governing body that holds these fighters accountable. It's not like a rank structure. It's not like you're working under the government just like the military. People think that shit is easy, bro. The little shit I could do out here in a civilian pop back then, go in there and take a honey bun and break that shit up and open and walk out the store. You get in the military, you raise your right hand in the military and do that shit. It's not going to be the same transparency as it is in boxing when you got niggas fleeing the law enforcement and being arrested for fleeing. No, once again, it's going to be like double jeopardy. You're going to get your ass in trouble out there, and you're going to get your ass in super trouble once you come back on base. You know, you might get your rank taken. Then you might get put on restriction. They might even kick your ass out. This is according if you're a repeat offender. But for the smallest of crime, a theft is a theft. You go up in the store and eat that honey bun, yeah, they're going to lock you up and they're going to call your command once they find out you're in the military. And once that happens, what the little small crime you did, they might say, hey, you know what? We're not going to really press charges. We're not going to pursue this. We're just going to let y'all handle it. The military is really going to take the guillotine to you. So I'm saying in boxing, they don't really have that. They really don't have it, bro. You can't get mad at a B sample when you got people out here running from the cops. Stop it. Man, come on, bro. It's way more serious shit going on than a B sample coming back and people want to get on here. Well, he's a roid user. What about the people that's out here fleeing law enforcement? Intoxicated. What about that? Is that real life enough for y'all or not? Are y'all going to continue to act like this is something that's beyond reproach? This is the defining moment in boxing. Even the ones who ran up on the Capitol. Ryan Garcia testing positive for Ostarine. It basically supersedes that. That's not the case, man. Eddie said he's a cheater. It's in his blood for a reason. He needed it. People crazy saying he didn't need it, but he believed he needed it. Hey, that's your OP. I understand where you coming from. But if you don't really take this in consideration, that it's the first time he even had an incident like that. Okay? So of course, when you're saying he's a cheater, he needed it in the system and all that. What about everybody else? What about some of the bigger names that have came back and tested positive for a banned substance? What about that? Are you keeping the same temperature? Are you going to just limp your way in And you're going to say, you know what? I'm not going to rack the gavel on him. I'm not going to swing the hammer. I like the guy. He's a youngin', pretty boy. You know, he likes girls. You know what I'm saying? I believe him. He's 25, $100 million. That's a heavy payload. I swear to you, that's a heavy payload for anybody. He has a lot on his shoulders. You know, Eminem make that song for him, man. He seized the moment. Andrew Charles on deck. What's good? Devin said he felt outmatched in his ESPN interview. Well, there's many ways I can go with that, but I'm not here to denigrate Devin Haney to make a joke about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I was actually going for Devin to beat Ryan. You know what I'm saying? But see, if Devin felt he was outmatched, then what does that mean exactly? Can you further define what outmatched mean? Skill for skill or strength for strength? I need some clarity. I need for you to elucidate for me what exactly does Devin Haney mean when he felt outmatched? Clearly, if we're basically sitting there watching the fight play out in real time and we see who has the momentum, us too would say that Devin was outmatched. That's all. You know what I'm saying? New York said hit on Big Baby with a 2-year suspension after his sample burned down the lab. Okay. So once again, all right. Look at what you told me, Andrew. Just read what you told me. Now, New York State Athletic Commission suspended Jarrell Miller, who was a walking biochemist. When he pissed, the toilet began to glow. When they tried to give him a cup, they said, no, we have to give him the titanium. We need the titanium so it won't burn through the bottom. His shit was a lot different. Also, was that Jarrell Miller's first time? Was that Jarrell Miller's first time being in that situation? Was it Jarrell Miller's first time? That's all I want to know, Andrew. If you're going to tell me it wasn't Jarrell Miller's first time, then how in the hell he get just 2 years and he's a repeat offender? This is inside the ropes. This is a person that's being punished, not for running red lights to get to the fight, not from hitting a vehicle and fleeing the police, getting to the fight, not basically running in there, robbing somebody, strong on them, knocking out 5 people to try to stop him from getting his vehicle when he left the crime scene. No, not that. We're talking about you are contractually locked in for a fight and you test positive. With the biggest fight in your career, you test positive and throw away millions. And they give you a 2-year suspension. Check this out. I'm about to hold on for a second. I'm about to show you something. Let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to find the right one. Please be patient. Thank you. I'm trying to find this article. Hold on for a second. Okay, I found one. I found one point I'm gonna make. Hold on for a second. I just gotta find this one more. Hold on for a second. I think this is gonna be. Let me see. Where you at? Damn. Where is it, bro? Let's see. This just pops in my head. I'm gonna make my point. Let me see. Hold on. I want to make my point based off this because there's so much fake outcry, and obviously they don't really dig back into the history. Let's see. It's crazy. Let's see. Okay. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. Okay. Let me share this with you all, just to give you a better understanding, right? People will accept cheating, but hard work and honesty is considered lies in 2024. I can see where you at with it. You know what I'm saying? I can see where you at with it. I'm saying you need to understand that a 6-month suspension is not enough. And that's boxing, bro. You got people that are making money off these fighters. You have to understand that they have these fighters under contract. They're making money off these fighters. So, commissions understand that. Commissions know the show must go on, right? And you got people up here talking about Ryan testing positive. He should be banned. Let me share something with you all right quick. Okay? Let me share this with you. So you can go around and tell these individuals to be quiet. Just quiet down. Because you're doing too much. Because obviously you don't pay attention to the history of the sport. And while you're up here thinking something is going to be different. As you're looking at this right here in front of you. Brought to you by CBC. Presented by World Combat Sports. Do you remember back in 2009, February 10, 2009, boxer Antonio Margarita gets 1 year suspension for illegal raps? Not to even bring his damn hand rapper into the equation, because he wasn't doing what Crawford does. He wasn't rapping his own hands. His trainer was rapping his hands, right? Antonio Margarito boxing license was revoked at least 1 year by the California State Athletic Commission for illegal raps discovered on a former welterweight champion hands before his loss last month to Sugar Shane Mosley. 1 year for attempting to basically load up your gloves, the equipment. Now let's get to some understanding about boxing gloves. The hand wraps and the gloves are not there for you to inflict punishment on your opponent. The gloves are there to protect your hands if you are a boxer. So therefore, we understand that it also inflicts punishment on their opposition. In this case, Antonio Margarita attempted to enhance outside of the legal policies and rules of his hand wraps. He wanted to load some plaster of Paris in his hands. His trainer, his hand wrapper, they both was in collusion to make this happen. It was noticed by Richardson. Nassim Richardson, shout out to him, and they made him rewrap the gloves, and Sugar Shane went up there and destroyed him. Okay? He went out there and destroyed him. Look, check this out. The decision stunned and infuriated Bob Arum of the boxing promotion company Top Rank, who attended the hearing in Sacramento, California. Capitelio and Margarito also insisted the boxer had no knowledge of the illegal nature of the wraps, which contained plaster-like substance nestled tightly inside the usual tape on a fighter's fist. It goes on to say, it's an absolute outrage, Arum said. It's something that I never thought would happen in the United States, where somebody who is totally and completely innocent, has no knowledge what happened, and didn't do anything wrong, gets his license taken away because his trainer allegedly did something wrong. Everybody's blown away. It's absolutely crazy. Are y'all still not listening to what I'm saying? Are y'all still not listening? Seriously, are y'all still not listening and understanding when it comes to this outcry that y'all want to talk about? Are y'all still not listening? I'm gonna bring up one more too. I'm gonna bring up something else for you right quick. Because people, y'all, they're running around here, man, and they just trying to act like there's been way there's never been anything like this before. You know what I'm saying? Bob Arum was speaking on this and said he couldn't believe how someone can be innocent and not knowing, right? And not knowing this was taking place and be suspended for a year. It's something that I never thought would happen in the United States, where somebody who is totally and completely innocent. Bob Arum thought Antonio Margarito was innocent. Like, he didn't ask, hey, Capitelio, what's that pink substance in the gloves? We always go back to the flash snapshots that was taken when Antonio Margarito finished his fight with Miguel Cotto, and his wraps was discolored. Look, it goes on to say the conduct of both Mr. Margarito and Mr. Capitelio was unacceptable and threatened the health and safety of another licensee, said Kerry Lopez, the director of State Department of Consumer Affairs, which licensed fighters. Let's bring the State Department of Consumer Affairs, which licensed fighters. Now, if they thought back in 2009 that the liable punishment given would be a year, 12 months, 12 freaking months, yo, for attempting to load a substance, a banned substance into the glove to inflict bodily harm on your adversary, which we all understand that could have been permanent. And we all know that boxing, even though they're trying, it doesn't have a union. It doesn't have what you call a lifetime pension. If a fighter is basically beaten into a vegetable state, they don't have that. Let's go on. It said, today's actions shows that both the Department of Consumer Affairs and the California State Athletic Commission takes the issue of boxers' safety very serious and will move quickly when a licensee actions threaten the safety of others. Ooh, let's see if they move quickly to basically make an example over King Ostrich. Let's see if they make an example for King Ostrich. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Let's see if this happens. Let's see. It goes on to say there are legal remedies, but there are practical remedies that would keep him fighting. Aaron said, loopholes in boxing, and they up here mad. Loopholes. You're talking about Bob Aaron's attorney. He knows how the legal system works. But what does the legal system have to do with the commission? And as you've seen up here, right? I don't know if I read this. Aaron said Capitelio deserved what he got, but strenuously objected to Margarito's punishment. Must apply to California commissions for reinstatement before they get their license back. But let's not forget, where are they at? Where are they at? Right here, the Department of Consumer Affairs and California State Athletic Commission. More so, the Department of Consumer Affairs. We want to see how Ryan Garcia is going to fare with this projectile that's supposedly headed his way. Because back in 2009, this man was loading up his hand wraps to inflict damage on a single compartment, which is detailed and identified as your brain. Your brain housing. That's what it consists of. Yes, from your head to your belt line. But when you're up here manipulating the gloves and basically as a fighter getting his hands wrapped, nobody's going to tell me that Margarito wasn't aware of what was going on with his wraps. How much did it take out of the usual format for him to wrap his hands like that? So let me put this on the scales for you. Who could do it intentionally? Who could be more aware of the cheating? Antonio Margarito or Ryan Garcia? Because if we're getting hand wraps and you have this damn substance that really doesn't supposed to go in there and it's all wet and it looks different, then you're going to put eyes on it. It's not like they take your freaking from the elbow to your fingertips. They remove that portion of your arm and say, "Hey, I'll be back. I'm going to take this to the commission and wrap those hands." Now it's not like you are a cyborg. They're removing your elbow down to your hand and taking that with them and wrapping your hand, and then they will reinsert it, and ask you, "Hey, tell me how that feel. Bend your fingers. Good. Okay, now we're going to do the right one." That's not the way it works, people. He was sitting there watching the shit. But when it comes to supplements, don't you think that there is some open space? There is some landscape, some psychological landscape that, a human being can be unaware of what he's orally consuming. I can see if it was the nandrolone now, but don't you think something could be contaminated? Something, somehow, some way. Let me see. Is this what? Look at this. This is another article. We would never know how many fights Margarito fought with those things. We all have opinions on which fights we think he had them with them, though. It would have been nice to know it as a fact. Shame that he could have been doing this for a while, pointed out one fan. So they thought Margarito was doing this for a while. This is boxing, right? Two-weight champion, right? Check this out. It still bothers me today that he got rewarded with multiple $1 million paychecks after he was caught cheating. But y'all up here worried about Ostarine? This shit has been going on forever. What's wrong with y'all? No. Hold up now. Check this out. I'm about to share another damn surprise for you. And hold up. Don't go nowhere just yet. I know this is gonna feel some type of way, but peep this out. This is the fight card. You know what I'm saying? Okay. That's who fought on that card, right? But peep this out. This fight right here. He was caught. You look at that, 2009, he came back in May of 2010. Robert Garcia, you know him. You might know him, right? One, Manny Pacquiao, Miguel Cotto. Oh, let's go back down. Oh, yeah. He fought Miguel Cotto back in 08. TKO round 11. Miguel Cotto took a beating in that fight. He had to take a knee. Probably changed his life for good. He just haven't started to feel the ill effects or something we don't know. I'm telling you, Miguel Cotto, rather, he suffered some damage in that fight. Look, he goes back to Manny Pacquiao. This is after suspension of having illegal raps. After you all, look at these names: Robert Garcia, Manny Pacquiao, Miguel Cotto in a rematch. Stopped in round 9, right? Come on, my guy Jorge Paez Jr. Shout out to Paez, man. I love this guy. One of the best entertainers ever. He was still able to fight multiple fights with big names and earn millions after he was outed. He was outed as having illegal hand wraps. And we're talking about Ostarine. That what we talking about? We talking about Ostarine, huh? We talking about Ostarine? Huh? We talking about King Ostarine? That's what we talking about? I just showed you one of the most infamous boxers who tried to load up his equipment deemed necessary in the sport of boxing, depending on what weight division. Of course, there's ounces that meets the regulation requirements. This man was attempting to basically alter his gloves with a foreign substance. Y'all. He was attempting to alter his equipment, his hand wraps, with a foreign substance to make his freaking wraps feel like cement. And we all know what happened with the plaster Paris. It keeps getting harder and harder. And when you get near the freaking mid rounds, if you make it there, that shit is going to be like dropping cinder blocks on your opponent. And nobody's going to tell me. Remember I told you this. I think he did permanent damage to Miguel Cotto. And he probably did some damage to some other fighters before he was caught. But this man was able to make millions after that fight, after coming back from being a cheater. So if you're going to call somebody a cheater, yeah, it's easy to say, yeah, Ryan Garcia tested positive for the B sample. But what about the dude who loaded gloves, though, and went in there and his intentions was to inflict damage with the same equipment, but with a foreign substance and contraband in his hand wraps that would basically double or triple the punishment based off what we use, like the simple techniques and tools that a boxing is allowed to use. We're talking about, yeah, you're going in there with the combination, using power shots and all this other shit. We're going off 3-minute rounds and all that. But what makes it dangerous is that now you have a harder hand wrap. And those punches that you're landing on that fighter breaks them down twice as fast as you was just using your freaking, regular hand wraps. I'm just saying, it's out there, y'all. It's out there, goddammit. Shout out to Nelly on deck. I see you. What's good? What's good? They worry about King Ostarine, man. Watch these Ryan Garcia fans make up excuses or say it doesn't matter if Ryan took steroids, he would have still won. We done with boxing casuals. No, you can't be done with boxing casuals because you just had class of 2024 get out. They just graduated. And you're not getting away any boxing casuals because as long as you got high school graduations, long as you got an open door entry for these high schoolers and these youngins to come over here and start saying, you know what, I got a little time before I check in to my college orientation. I'm going to check out the YouTube, man. I think I really want to follow boxing now. I'm what they call a casual. I really don't know too much about the sport. But man, those chats can be interesting. Let me tell you. I'm going to go up here and play around, you know what I'm saying, and try to get myself adjusted to these damn boxing chats. Come on, man. Casuals always be around, Durant. Always. They only get bigger and larger, bro. The numbers only expand. We just had class of 2024 get out. They're bored right now, man. Inflation is incredible. Now the rag white isn't for the freaking cheaters though. You know what I'm saying? Because the cheaters are looking. You know who they are. They look the way they're supposed to. Shout out to the OG, Mr. Golden on deck. Salute to you, brother. Let's see. Bricks and can get his belt back. 2 loss for Haney. Well, hey, Uno, if you believe that entire process can play out, that you think that Devin was cheating, with his weight, even though contractually it wasn't anything that was written to hold him to that. I hope Regis got money for his attorneys. Real talk. I hope he got money for his attorneys. Because I see the angle where Regis is going with this. I truly do. I totally get what you're saying. But a part of it didn't make sense to me based off what I just gave you. This is one of the most serious, extreme examples of Antonio Margarito getting caught and being suspended 1 year for a foreign substance when we're talking about Ostarine. Which one is definitely going to lay down the most internal damage? Which one is going to inflict the most? Which one is going to give you the most side effects and the residual effects once you continue on with the sport? Ostarine or freaking plaster of Paris? That's an easy determination. You know what I'm saying? Easy determination. Very, very easy. Jones on deck. What's good with it, bro? So look, y'all calling Ryan a dirty cheat, right? Y'all calling Ryan a dirty cheat. But y'all won't sit up here and call the referees a dirty cheat. Y'all won't call the commissioners a dirty cheat. Y'all won't call the promoters a dirty cheat. Seriously. Y'all sit up here and call out a fighter who's very popular right now and call him a cheat. But let's go up to what was said earlier about Devin, previous fight with Regis Prograis. Look, listen to me. When they seen how Devin came in, how much he weighed, it was so many people out here bragging about how big he was. If you go even back to when Devin stepped in the ring after Lomachenko defeated Jermaine Ortiz, and he say, my friend, this is not heavyweight. I think this 135. Look, he was big then. People were seeing how big Devin looked. Those same people who was trying to do an in-depth, thorough investigation on Terrence Crawford after his beating, his thrashing of Errol Spence. They didn't do the same for Devin Haney. They just said, hey, Devin's growing into his man body. Okay, all right. And then when he fought Regis Prograis, he came in there huge. Huge. Nobody said anything except, oh my God, man, Devin, he's a big 140 pounder. Oh my God, he's huge. What happened? Ryan Garcia got with Floyd Mayweather, allegedly, whoever else. They sat down and came up with a plan. They said, hey, you sell more tickets than Devin. You're the draw than Devin. You're definitely not going to make 140. Suppose he came in 160, 165 versus Regis. We're going to come in there with the weight. You come in there with the weight and don't draw yourself down, because think about it. Ryan Garcia had already fought at 143 already. Right? So they got together and they said, hey, fuck that title. Our end game, our end state is to go in there and hand Devin his loss. That's what we want to do. And they're not going to cancel the fight because it's the main event and people want to see it, and they all came out. If Devin would have canceled the fight, it would have been an outrage. You know what I'm saying? People would have been losing their goddamn mind because they paid all that money to come out there. So Ryan Garcia, in the scheme of things, pretty much had a pretty ironclad plan. You know what I'm saying? And they pretty much looked at it like, oh, ain't nobody gonna cancel this fight. They're gonna take the fight, and also they're gonna, it's okay to pay the fine. This dude betted on himself and won $12 million. But furthermore, if you back it up previously, this dude came in with the lion's share of the higher percentage that he was gonna make. So not only did he come in 3+ pounds over, they didn't have no rehydration clause. So when Devin did that to Regis, they did it to Devin. They say, oh, he's ballooning up in weight. No rematch. No rehydration clause. Damn. Okay. So we're gonna do the same shit. We're gonna play the fool. We're gonna act like we're going in there for a championship fight. And we're going to come in overweight purposely, right? Just like Ryan Garcia said, we had no intentions of losing the fucking weight. We're going to come in there and play dirty. Devin, he's being professional. He's the champ. He stripped all the way down to 140, made the motherfucking weight. While Ryan Garcia is up here chilling and not even giving a damn about anything and say, oh, I can't make the weight. And then he chugs down what was supposed to be a beer. Who got played? Devin Haney got played. So y'all can complain about the weight, but in boxing, they shook on it. It was an agreement. Even though it wasn't for $500,000 a pound, they agreed to pay the penalty. Team Garcia, they agreed, and they paid the penalty, y'all. Unfortunate for Devin Haney, he paid the penalty too for accepting the fight to make the money, because they got to get paid. Bill want that money. They was in there with a freaking a guy who somehow came in as the A side. They didn't want to get that paycheck up, so they took the fight and they paid for it. Literally and figuratively. They paid for it. They paid for it in blood and they paid for it monetarily. Nobody said rehydration was illegal. But when you say rehydrate and a fighter comes in, dependent on who the matchup consists of, size will play a significant advantage during the yes, figuratively speaking. But if you take a fighter in there that has to drop weight all the way down, that's kind of big for the weight class, it's going to affect them. The other fighter is going to be much more stronger. That's more suited for the class. But in this case, Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia was both big for 140 pounds. Where I find a problem with is that the team Haney truly believed that Ryan Garcia was going to make the weight. And if they felt like they said on stage, that he wasn't going to make the weight, why didn't they take other preliminary precautions, put it in the contract? Why wasn't there enough in there to save them from Ryan Garcia coming in overweight and then having an advantage on fight night? Well, Devin looked extremely weak, man. He looked extremely, you know what I'm saying? Like he couldn't even stand up to Ryan Garcia's onslaught. He wasn't sustainable through the fight. We already know we're not talking about, different regions, different athletic commissions. We're talking about where they at now. I can bring up some fights that happen in California that you have to say to yourself, why did this get over? Come on, man. It's like too many pages to turn when we start zooming in on the athletic commissions in different regions, in different states. I mean, it goes on and on to the break of dawn. You know what I'm saying? On and on to the break of dawn. So why are you saying no, sir? New York State Athletic Commission in California are negligent in letting it go for? How many premier state athletic commissions do you want to go to? The premier is New York and freaking Vegas. Why would you say they are negligent when they pretty much are some of the mega nesting beds for some of the biggest fights ever in the sports that's been recorded in the boxing annals? Why would you say, no, sir, they're negligent? They do what they want to do for a long time, and they're going to continue to do the shit. They're going to continue to do what they do, how they do it, when they want to do it. And it ain't going to be shit a boxing media enthusiast will be able to do about it. Nothing, except sit back and watch. Because they don't have no governing body? Let me ask you this. Who's suspending the sanctioning bodies? Mauricio Suleiman want to increase the levels of a banned substance. Who's basically keeping him in check? Who's holding him accountable? And we want to talk about state athletic commissions. What about the sanctioning bodies? What about all the internal conversation and the deals, the under table deals that goes on, the handshakes that nobody sees? Who's in control of them? Because I don't remember a single president. Like 2024 is we're going to be campaigning for a president, but goddamn it, ain't for boxing. The president of the United States can't even say shit to a goddamn boxer and say, you know what? I think it's my time to overturn that boxing match because this guy's from my hometown. His family used to serve the community with lemonade and chocolate chip cookies. When I say what I say when I say it, if I want to be a part of boxing, let it be known that I will be a part of boxing. No, that's not it. The presidents are not a part of boxing. So who's holding these athletic commissions accountable? Who's changing it? Who's changing the results that's considered a robbery or considered to be controversial? Nobody. Nobody. Don't waste your breath. Don't waste your breath. Hey, Davis, I understand you're let me put your comment up there because you're not educating me. You can educate the casuals or the somebody just got out. He said, California, you cannot come in over 15% or more than your weight, not sanctioned, not just athletic. It was put into law where they are now in NY. They are negligent. They let it happen. See, why are you putting that in capitals, bro? I can read, man. Why do y'all do that, bro? Why do y'all put it in caps? When you explain something, if I'm reading line for line, character for character, I'm good. Me processing what you're putting in there, I can read if it's in lowercase or caps. But look, what you're saying about negligence, what do you want to happen if you want to deem them negligence? Are they going to get shut down? Who are you going to tell? Let's start there. Tell me so I can do a live stream on it, and I've got to make some phone calls. Who do you want to be made aware of the negligence and them allowing something to happen? Could you please let me know in the chat? Uno. What is the dose step to take to help them not to be negligent next time? Do you have a alternate recourse of action? Just let me know, bro. I appreciate you interacting, real talk. I'm not devaluing that, but I'm just saying, if you're saying they're negligent, how do we resolve this issue? How do we report this issue? Who do we make liaison with so it won't happen again? Because this has been going on for years and years and years. So we suppose the Ostarine, the guy up there, King Osto, how do we prevent another King Osto? You can't. It's fighters in boxing, MMA fighters, track athletes, it's plenty of people that test positive for supplements. Some willing and some unwillingly. Some knowingly and some unknowingly. It's just the way it is, man. Shout to 720. He said, bro, Ryan was just a better man. Ostarine doesn't make you a better fighter. You know that. Hey, that's what they telling me. That's what they telling me. That's what they was telling me. They said Ostarine doesn't make you a better fighter. That's what they was telling me. Cause I wanted to ask so I can weigh heavy on, so I can be pretty much mutual when I'm expressing, okay, my both sides, the left and right hemisphere. You know what I'm saying? Gathering this information, doing deductive reasoning, formulating, and trying to come up with all the evidence so I can bring it out to the general public. That's all I'm doing. They was telling me, hey, Ostarine doesn't give you skills. It doesn't goddamn provide you with proper calculation of timing. It may make you feel a little bit better. You might shake your shoulders off. Oh shit, let me brush that. God damn, I just landed that motherfucking hook. I'm feeling good. Nigga feel immortal in this bitch. I'm whooping his ass. It might give you a little bit of that. But what if Ryan Garcia is right? That he is saying that they're out to get him. What if he unknowingly digested Ostarine? A supplement where they can only go back to Lucian Boutte and freaking Badu Jack. One freaking fight. Look, we're talking about years upon years upon years with morning rises and evening sunsets that we have seen boxing. We knew it's an annual sport. We've seen it all the time. But people, please explain to me, why did they just bring up one single fight for Ostarine if it's such a big fucking deal? If you can't bring up all the years and bring up at least 25 incidents, at least, At least 25. Just give me 25, shawty, of different fights that involves Ostarine. Ostarine. I'm calling Ostarine. Where are you, Ostarine? Where's the Ostarine at, bro? You want to damn reference one fight and you're going to bring that to the attention, Mr. English? You're going to bring it to the New York State Athletic Commission? Well, back in this day, Lucien Boutte, he was found positive for a banned substance against Badu Jack. And that right there, my friend, that is not tolerable. I think we should just take a look at how we're going to refresh Devin Haney's freaking box rec based off the results of Ryan Garcia's negligence. You know what I'm saying? So unless you want me to turn this into a civil war, somebody better come up with this goddamn result real quick like. That type of temperature and energy, hey, if you want to call him a cheating bastard, it is what it is, man. I'm not going to take up for the pretty boy. All I'm saying is logically, man, I just feel like people trying to make it seem like it's new. You want to reference one fight? How long has boxing been into existence and you want to register one fight? Well, we just gonna bring up Lucien Boutte. You understand me? You're gonna do some Lucien Boutte and Badu Jack. Yeah. He tested positive for Ostarine and they reversed it and gave that win to Badu. That's what I'm goddamn flustered about. Fuck this king rye or rye bread or goddamn salami on wheat. I don't give a fuck. You can't tell me if you can't bring up 25 of other examples to prove that Ostarine is running rampant throughout this sport and they've goddamn did they due diligence to stop it. I haven't seen it. And by God, this is no different. I'm just saying, man, stop it. Look, I'm not going to bring in no hair samples, bro. I'm telling you how I feel about the situation. And shout out to P on deck. I'm telling you how I feel about this. This is not anything big. I mean, why? Because look, okay, let's just say Jarrell Miller, right? Jarrell Miller tested positive for the real deal, Holyfield. He just had a fight with Daniel DeBras where he went 12 rounds. And look, people weren't talking about this shit. This man blew a fight with Anthony Joshua for the belts. That could have been Jarrell Miller's the unified champion and going in there for a rematch. And they're up here trying to front load Ryan Garcia's test. And then you think I'm going to bring in a hair follicle coming back negative? Hey, keep watching. Keep staying close. Keep paying attention to how this plays out. That's all I'm telling you, bro. Pay attention. You got people up here trying, sounding dumb as fuck, talking about he should be banned from this. That is dumb. How long have you been a part of the sport? They didn't even ban Mike Tyson, bro. Mike Tyson, he felt hungry, bro. Mike Tyson got hungry. He felt mad, frustrated. He said, I'm turning into my alter ego. Cannibalistic Mike, aka Cannibal. He turned into cannibal and started biting body parts. And he was able to come back to the ring and fight. Come on, man. And y'all sitting up here tripping off Ostarine? And somebody want me to go into a hair follicle sample? It ain't gonna happen, bro. Shout out to Carlos Rosado in the building. Salute to y'all. It ain't gonna happen, shawty. I mean, come on, man. I've been covering the sport too long, man. It's just a whole lot more serious, even in MMA too. It's been a lot more serious. Look at John Jones. John Jones tests positive. He gets suspended, stripped of the title, whatever. He comes back, he fights. Except that one time when he had to say, okay, commission wanted to talk to him. The commission said, we want to talk to you. Which, like I'm saying before, in this case, I mentioned before about picograms, how everybody's body is different. And John Jones was actually, taking performance enhancing drugs. But when he comes back to fight, people cheer him on like no other. I mean, the world of combat, man, is had individuals that has been in this position before. They've had them. Ryan Garcia is look, be honest. There's a lot of people that don't know what the fuck Ostarine was before it even came to the surface, and now that it's floating around like a rubber ducky, they sit up here and try to act like they're experts. You're not experts, man. A lot of y'all don't even know about it. Shout out to Mexican on deck. He said, bless, highly favored. Damn, man. He said, blessed and high. King Osto. You feel me? So what's going to happen to Ryan now? Is he going to be suspended? And that's what's going to be left pending. All I'm saying is, pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention. Just stay close. I could have, dropped the news yesterday. It's just pointless to do it because people try to act like I want to goddamn go behind him and act like what he's saying is not happening. It's not gonna. Man, come on, man. Y'all pay attention to what's gonna happen with this whole situation. All y'all doing is giving Ryan Garcia the publicity that he wants. There's not too many people even talking about Devin Haney, who is absolutely innocent in this situation. No matter what they say about him allowing Ryan to have their weight on, he's one of the innocent parties here. He was the professional. Devin Haney was professional. He made the freaking weight. You're talking about a former undisputed 135 pounder, a fighter who was up against a fighter who wasn't clean, right? Outmatched. His skills just didn't add up on that night, but he wasn't no bitch. He kept getting up, and he kept getting up to fight on. You got to award him with a salute. Both fighters, they showed up to the ring, but more so Devin. Devin kept on getting up fighting. Even though he was embarrassed, he was getting knocked around, he was being hurt, he kept on getting up. So it ain't no punk in that, bro. But when it comes down to what you accepted Ryan to be overweight. You accepted him knowing purposely he was going to come in overweight. And if it's true that y'all sit there and witness him with an IV, come on, bro. It goes back to what I'm saying. People was like, Ostarine does not induce skills that no one has seen before. It doesn't do that. It's impossible. That's not the case, man. Not nobody tripping off Ostarine. I'm not Haney. I'm not. Haney brought it to the forefront. Well, I mean, everybody's tripping off Ostarine because Ryan beat Devin in dominant fashion the way he did. So with that result, people are tripping off Ostarine because look, they're uninformed. They're not educated enough. They don't even want to really know what Ostarine really is. They don't know how it attaches. What effects does it have? How can it benefit? They don't want to know none of that. All they know is Devin got knocked down 3 times, and it's going to be some Haney fans saying that Ostarine gave him all this incredible, immortal strength to go in there and do something they never seen him do before. He didn't beat down Luke Campbell like this. He didn't beat Oscar Duarte like this. I mean, how dare I even mention Javier Tuna Can? Javier Tuna Can came in there like he just finished eating a fresh loaf of bread with goddamn hot butter. He wasn't even in shape. I can't bring Javier Tuna Fish, Mr. Starkiss himself, but he did stop him. He didn't stop Toka Kunklari. If I even pronounce his name correctly. They would suspend him 6 months or not at all. That's what would happen. Depends on the litigation and the story. No, the story is not going to end anytime soon, man, because people are trying to make this seem like it's the remake of Jurassic Park. They act like Ostarine was with T-Rex had. They act like they gave freaking King Kong Ostarine in the new movie. Man, you know when it's dinosaur. Man, come on, bro. Y'all don't really know what Ostarine does, what its benefits is. Every human is different. It can be a juice head out here that can go in the weight room and can barely lift 315. And you can get another juice head the same age and go in here and lift 400 pounds. Everybody's body is different. But having an awareness of different performance enhancements, the physical anatomy, it executes them different. The benefit is different. The acclimation is different. You know what I'm saying? The adjustment is different. So, you know, Ryan is going to continue to get exposure. And getting up off the cameras, continue to fight on. But he just didn't have the answers. You know what I'm saying? No sway. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Devin just didn't have the answers. No yay. I'm just saying. But hey, shout out to y'all. Let me get Toby right quick. He said, just look how many extra followers, subs Ryan has now and how many extra clicks and views Ryan has. His profile has grown huge over this. Talk to him, Toby. Talk to them, Shotty. It has grown. Let me look him up just because Toby up here mentioning. Let me go see what he's looking like right now. Let me go over there because I'm not all right. I used to not be a fan of this shit. But let me go over here to Ryan Garcia shit. God damn. He's up to 12 million followers. He's up to 12 mil. A milli mom. I mean, Ryan Garcia is up to 12 million, y'all. He's doing very well in the state of Ostarine. In the Ostarine era, Ryan Garcia seems to have gained followers instead of losing followers. That's all I'm saying. I don't think they really even caring about this shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? Tainted supplement. Yeah. For sure. They're top Mexican for sure. Tainted, you know, that's what they're trying to say. Ostarine, yeah, you can have tainted subs, okay? But like they said earlier in the live, it's gonna be up to Ryan Garcia to prove that the subs was tainted. You know what I'm saying? We need to prove maybe the ashwagandha was from a special lab. It wasn't just a regular ashwagandha that we would get from out of GNC, or that, you know, Ryan Garcia might have had that authentic, that VIP limited edition ashwagandha. The shit that makes you levitate. Maybe he had that shit. Real talk. But y'all hold it down, man. This has been brought to you by World Combat Sports in light of King Osto, aka Ryan Garcia. Don't be mad at the results now. Y'all keep on talking this up like it's gonna be something serious. It ain't. But shout out to the hottest chat in the MF and game. You already know what it is. Appreciate y'all pulling up as always. I should be back on later. And for panel, I'm gonna drop the link later, to get people's thoughts on this. Y'all hold it down. Peace. I'm out.